Alright, I think I might as well. Oh. How's it going, DMB? So, yeah. Alright. How should I begin this? I mean, I guess I might as well start by saying, love that layout. Yeah, I was about to talk about it, actually. I decided to bring in a new layout. Mostly just to kind of give, what's the word I'm thinking about? I don't know. Just trying to bring in my style and not really feel bland, if I'm willing, if that even makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, so let's just begin. Welcome back to DeFrehn Live. I'm Aidan DeFrehn, and yeah, this is a thing. I swore I had something. Alright. Looks real cool. Thanks. Alright. You know what? Let's just jump into it. As some of you may know, I took part of not one, but 2 Billy and Mandy reanimated collabs. This was one of the scenes that this is one of the scenes I was assigned, so. Now this collab is hosted by a different person, I believe, so. Yeah. Now I know I promised I'm likely gonna use Blender for this. I'm currently in the storyboarding stage right now, so it'll be a bit before I actually use Blender a little bit, so yeah. Just doing the background first, and then actually I think I'll just call this BG sketch. BG stands for background. Let me just take a look here. Alright. Oh, and the live chat says on screen. That's cool. Yep. Jax Films activate. Indeed. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, the correction was a little off, but not by much. See the correction up here? It's usually at 20, so. And this one will be characters. This is like a rough layout. I actually had an idea for this. Where Grimm would be a little more worried, if anything. And then Mandy would be like, oh, not this guy again. Because technically, this is a reanimated collab. So it would technically kind of be like going through the same situation all over. And then Billy would be upside down. I'll illustrate that in a bit, so. So anyways, I think I kind of want to start a conversation right now, so. How was your 21st night of September? The only reason I'm saying that right now is because I don't know if you can hear it, but the song's playing right now, so. Well, from the other room. Now, when I joined the Little Rock of Horrors reanimated collab, I had a goal of using, like, flash animation in order to get it out on time, you know? Because with flash animation, normally, while the quality kinda differs depending on who's working on it, quality usually turns out alright. But it's usually delivered on time. And in the animation business, if you can deliver something on time, you're good. At least, that's what I hear. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Grimm. I mean, I very rarely draw Grimm anyway, so. I mean, I guess it almost kind of fits that I'm drawing Grimm, Billy, and Mandy, because it's literally almost Halloween. It's literally next month. And then Billy would just be upside down. And the funny thing about this is that while I'm animating the last scene in OpenToons, well, my last scene in OpenToons, I'm probably going to use Blender's grease pencil in order to bring the other scenes to life. Actually, I think Gravity. Schoolhouse Rock did an entire song about it. I just remember that I'm supposed to be drawing Billy upside down. Part of me wanted to draw him with his hat off, since who knows, maybe it was with it being upside down. I don't know where I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I almost forgot. His ear. Even though it's probably gonna be obscured. Alright. Nice. Thanks. And how's it going, Terry? Oh yeah, open tunes. Halloween, and I don't know if I'm gonna do anything content related to celebrate. But I'm thinking of what I should do for the channel branding. Alright. I'm actually kind of interested in using that at some point in the future if I ever get into animating. That's right, freeware! Or open source software, since OpenTunes is technically open source. So yeah, it'll be a bit before I get to use Blender. It will be in the stream though, so please stick around. Believe it or not, the last time I drew Grimm was, I think, back in like 2020-ish? If I recall correctly. I probably drew him later than that, but I think the last time I drew him was in that What Bright Side animation thing. And then the other guy. Actually, you know what this reminds me of a little bit? He almost kind of looks like Earthworm Jim. Remember him? There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. Alright. I like to ask, have you ever seen any of my title credits vids? I think you should... Oh yeah, I actually have seen those. I mean, I've seen those videos before. It's I. Oh yeah, the brief ear comment just reminds me of the fact that I think I'm one of the only artists on the planet that doesn't draw ears. It's kind of a matter of forgetting, but it's also a stylistic choice, as well as eyebrows. Oh yeah, Earthworm Jim. Alright, so now that we got the character layouts out of the way, let's begin working on the background. Actually, spoiler alert, I'm probably gonna have the background be CGI. So... I think I'm really only gonna use this for, like, the colors. Actually, let's turn up the opacity. Actually, I think I'm also going to use this for, like, the storyboard / animatic. Right here. It's almost like a balancing act, you know? Try to find what colors to use first. There we go. This is kind of the method I've been doing for all my backgrounds as of recent. Where I kinda add like offset lines. If that makes any sense. point of reference. Alright. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to do the other part of the background. The flame. That should do it. On second thought, I'm probably gonna leave the flame background lineless and really only apply the lines to the checkerboard floor. The key of making it work, kinda, is to offset the lines a little, but not by too much. It's kind of what I'm going for here. And I'd say that looks okay. There we go. Make sure I have all the lines in there. I think I need to do a few more. Alright, I think that works. Let me just name this background, or BG, which of course stands for background. I don't think I need this anymore. Alright, let's get to what I've actually promised with the title. Alright. Right. Anyway. Now let's get to what I've promised the entire stream. I wouldn't want to make myself look like a liar, now do I? Alright. I've been trying to utilize Blender a little bit in a lot of my projects, so this is more like a refresher to see what I've been up to as of recent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna showcase 5 Blender projects that I've been working on recently. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. So this is what I've been up to recently. Trying to give Clarissa a bit of a new look. So this is like viewport, solid. But I think what most people want to see is how she looks when rendered. Hopefully, okay, there we go. The model hasn't been rigged yet. I've been trying to see what I can do when rigging. Actually, let's do some rigging right now. Actually, I'm low-key kind of loving this. Hopefully I can do like a test animation with this model once I'm done rigging it. Actually, let's go to viewport display in front. Here we are. I've been watching a lot of Blender related content recently. So I feel like I should know a thing or two. It's also a good idea. Oh yeah, Blender tip. It's always a good idea to name the bones when you're rigging. That way you'll know what you're doing once it comes time to animating. Let me just... okay... R, Y... 180 degrees. There we go. I think I'll just use this as like an IK, as like an IK bone. IK stands for inverse kinematics, if I recall correctly. Another tip. Usually you'd have to differentiate which is left and which is right. So essentially, what's our right is the character's left, if that makes any sense. Actually, let's... There we go. Shift S to... Cursor to selected. There we are. So now we... Selection to cursor. Actually, let's... There we go. Now we're getting there. Sometimes it's also a good idea to have a wireframe mode. So let's duplicate this. Let's make this relate to bone 2, which actually, that's another thing I forgot to do. Sometimes I forget what I... Sometimes I forget to name stuff, so... Extrude, shear, bone size, roll. Oh, that's the transformation tool. Trying to... Ah, here we are. Subdivide. Yeah, I'd say that's enough. And then... do the same here. as you could tell, I'm also kind of used to Blender's original. See, when I press A, that usually selects everything. However, in older versions of Blender, when I press A again, it usually deselects. Now it's commanded to Alt-A or pressing A twice. That's one thing I try to get used to here, so. You know, it's also kind of funny. The fact that that I made this model before I got myself a PS1. Until then, I was just trying to get that PS1 aesthetic without even playing a PS1. To which I eventually did. I guess I should tell you about the story where I found one. It all started when I was in New Jersey. And then I didn't really have any specific goals in mind on what to find at a yard sale. I was just looking around. There was actually a relatively old couple saying that they owned an Atari of sorts. I think another person got it before me, but there was another couple that actually owned a PS1. And when I saw it, I knew I had to get it. I mean, it was in pretty good condition. Came with the first-party controllers, had a memory card. Well, actually had, I think, 2 memory cards, actually. And it also came with a copy of Siphon Filter. And then, I think when I got back home, I tested it, and it seemed to work just fine. I mean, to be fair, I tested 2 things. One is, of course, the game. Siphon Filter works just fine. So it's going to be doing that again. And by that I mean OBS. It did a thing again, so I'm probably going to have to speed things up, so why don't we move on to our next Blender project, okay? But first I gotta set this to World Origin. Alright, let's move on to the next project. I'll be back in a bit. is at for now. I think he's busy. He might be. He might be. Yep. Insert PS1 startup here. Yep. Alright, so, next project. This was one that I was also working on. For those who don't know, Ellie, as she's so called, is a character from Blender's open short film Sprite Fight. At least that's what I think it's called. Yeah, it's from the Blender short film Sprite Fight. And as some of y'all may know, they also released some of the models for free, so I was able to trying to find it. Oh, here we are. Subdivision. Render, apply. Trying to find all the subdivision. Subdivision modifiers. So. That way this will be able to play. If that makes any sense. Make sure the subdivision for this is also off. Alright. Now let's actually play it.
Oh yes, very much so in fact.
I was trying to play it, but you know. I also wanted to render this, but for whatever reason, Blender decides to crash every time I try to render it. It might be the lighting. If there even is any lighting. Actually, let me look at the collections real fast. Oh, there isn't even any lights. And I guess it's also because I don't know which render engine they used for Sprite Fight. It might be Cycles. Alright. Oh. There we go. Yeah, it's not... I wouldn't really say it's good, but, you know. Actually, let's try frame dropping.
Oh yes, very much so in fact.
Yeah, I'd say that works. So let's...
Oh yes, very much so in fact.
Actually, why was I... Because all the animations are really up here. Alright, one more time. One more time.
Oh yes, very much so in fact.
The audio source is from one of Hour of Poop's videos. Actually, let me look it up. Because I can't really think of the title of it. Let me just... I think it was one of his more recent ones, too. Well, recent as in, like, one of the most recent he's uploaded. Yeah. Laura Bungles in Binley Jungle. Take for that what you will. Yep. It's a lip sync test. Yes, it is. Essentially. Yeah. So yeah, not much to this. Other than the fact that it's pretty much a lip syncing test. And if you've seen the Sprite Fight short, then yeah. Alright. So, time for project number 3. I'll be right back again. I'm sorry if this is reoccurring, but, you know. Yeah. I'll be back. Alright. Next up is this one. It was supposed to be some kind of thing for Rebel Remaker, but I quickly abandoned it because I thought the current branding worked just fine. So yeah, let's actually play the animation. Actually, I don't know if my microphone caught that, so yep. Ooh, that looks nice. Yeah, but this is from the solid mode. Once I turn on the rendered mode, you'll be able to see what it was supposed to look like. Let's take a look at it in rendered mode. I think I was trying to render this in black and white. Yeah, I was trying to render this in black and white. And yes, it's also rendered in Eevee. So, actually, let's... Blending mode, opaque. Ah, here we are. Alpha clip. And also, these are supposed to be, like, safe areas. As stated right here. Alright. View. Trying to... Because in past versions of Blender, it was right over here. Where you can view like a rendered version. Well, almost like it, but I can't find it here. Alright. Let's play every frame. Sync to audio. Actually, frame dropping. Because I think that was the one that worked the most, so yeah. Let's... And now let's actually render this. That way y'all can get a good idea of what it's supposed to look like. And then let's zoom it out so y'all can get a better picture. Who knows, maybe I might end up using this in the future. Because now that I think about it, it looks alright. So, yeah. 3 down, 2 to go. Dante? I was expecting a drawing of Emily from Close Enough. Yeah, sorry, live requests are over. I like it. Thanks. Anyways, how's it going? I'm going good. Alright. Anyways, I'll be right back. Gotta showcase 2 more Blender projects. So, yeah. Alright. Sad that I could have make a live request, but fun while it lasts, I guess. Anyway. So this is the next project I was planning on working on. It's essentially a recreation of Poppy from the movie Trolls. Which, in some cases, I was both fortunate and unfortunate to actually see the first movie in theaters, all the way back in 2016. Oh, and this reference sheet was also made using PureRef, which is another open source software, to my knowledge. PureRef is essentially an image gathering software. It may not look like much right now, but once I work on this model a little more, it'll start to look like something. I'm currently in the blocking stage, so you can pretty much tell. Actually, I think... Here we go. Subdivision surface. Let's put this up here. Set this as the mirror object. to think we live in an era where the power of CGI is now free and open source. Well, it usually has been free and open source ever since Blender was a thing, which really... Wasn't it formed in, like, 96 or something like that? I don't know. Anyway. So, yep. Not much with this one. Alright. Not a big fan of the sequel. I was actually kind of surprised by the second film in some ways. First one was okay, actually. Alright. Hopefully I'll be just in time. Hopefully. Alright. Because I think I really only have one more project to showcase. So yeah. Alright. I'm sorry if y'all end up hearing the... Actually, let's turn this down a little bit. That way y'all can still hear me. So this is the next thing I've been working on. Another grease pencil test. Oh yeah, and I also forgot onion skin was on. Where is the... I think it was... Yeah, there we are. Show overlays. It was right over here where it says show overlays. Alright. So yeah, this is what it looks like so far.
One of the most brilliant things I've ever read or been a part of was when, you know, The Good Place is centered around all these yogurt shops, and it's because Ted's character says, frozen yogurt is so uniquely human. It's so human to take something great, like ice cream, and ruin it just a little bit so that you can have a lot more.
That was a clip courtesy of Kristen Bell, I think. If I recall correctly... Oh yeah, this was also not really completed. So yeah, this clip... Oh yeah, so that audio clip comes courtesy of Kristen Bell, I think. If I recall correctly. This was, like, done as a voice test, if that makes any sense. To see what voice would fit a character. And Boo's voice, I kind of wanted to have, like... I wanted her to sound like someone who is in her, like, late 20s, early 30s. If that makes any sense. Alright. One more time.
One of the most brilliant things I've ever read or been a part of was when